G'day guys, and welcome to the show where I report on the latest in gaming news. And if you guys do end up enjoying today's video, please remember to smack that like button real good, and let's take a look at the gaming news that we do have at hand today. Pretty interesting stuff right there. But just to move on from that real quick, we'll get to that in the second half of the show. The first half of the show, however, I've got some exclusive gameplay that I got to capture back in Gamescom almost a month ago. I know, it's been a while, but I got some exclusive gameplay for you guys, and it's for Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP. So yes, what you're seeing on screen right here is Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP gameplay. However, there is gaming news in the second half of the show. I'll get to that. But let's take a look at what we do have at hand right here. And as you can tell right away, this game looks stunning. You're playing in third person. It is Wildlands after all, but this is the PvP game mode. A lot of fans of Wildlands were asking for this game mode, and well, Ubisoft decided to come on board and actually create this game mode for everybody. And I've got to say, right off the bat, I loved it. I actually prefer it, even though I only got to play it for like half an hour, I prefer it over the original Wildlands. That's just my opinion right there. There's just something about the stealthy aspect of having like 3 teammates yourself, and you're in different locations, like you're in the woods or you're in a quarry or anything like that, and you're just having to really communicate as a team. It kind of brings me back to Rainbow Six Siege, and it gives me that feeling, but it's just a lot more, I don't know how to describe it. It's more open. It's not just like breaking into buildings and doing things like that. It's a lot more just deciding and being very tactical with a team, and maybe splitting off into 2, where you've got 2 guys on the left flank, 2 guys on the right flank. Maybe even 1 guy goes solo. We were doing quite a lot of different stuff. I had a ghillie suit at one point through actually most of it. I forgot to change my character actually when we went from the forest sort of gameplay to the quarry, so that kind of messed me up, but that's just my mistake right there. Totally forgot to edit my character, but it's a real advantage when you do wear that ghillie suit and you're in the forest. You can't really be seen. Unfortunately, I was, because I was up against these Swedish players who were incredibly good. Europeans in FPS games and just shooters in general on PC, you can't touch them. I'm just terrible compared to them. Now, one thing I will touch on here is the different classes. There were a few different classes in here. You could have like snipers, assault guys, things like that. So you can have a marksman out there just kind of telling your team where you are and all that. And for some reason, I chose to be a marksman, and I was telling my team like where to go and everything, and I wasn't the best communicator, especially when you're playing with Europeans who, I think one of the guys was Spanish on my team and he didn't speak a word of English, so it didn't go down too well. But the thing is, if you get like a group of friends to play this game and you're all different sort of like different classes, you can do really, really well, I noticed, because the communication is the biggest point of this game. And I think it goes to a lot of tactical shooters like this, but I really did enjoy it. And as I said, I prefer this game mode over the original Wildlands. It's just something about it. There's like nothing wrong with the original one, but this is just awesome. And to move on from the forest type gameplay, we're moving on, as you can see right here now, to the quarry. I totally forgot, as I said, to switch my character's look, so I'm just a ghillie suit moron just running through a quarry. Totally obvious to everyone. Just, hey, look at that big green fluffy guy. Yeah, let's shoot him. So I don't think I did too well, but the thing is, it was still fun. I still enjoyed it. It was one of those things where you go in and you've got to really just get in onto the game, and you've got to really concentrate, but you can still have a bunch of fun if you just goof around with your friends. So we were just laughing at times because we weren't communicating very well, because the language barriers on our team was like a Spanish, I think we had a German guy and myself. It wasn't working. Moving on, however, is to the final map that we got to play on, and this one, it might be my favorite. It was a night map, and it was very, very, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but it felt real. Like, it felt like you really had to just be real stealthy, really just take on board and get into the whole feel of everything, you know? And that was one of the coolest things. And you can see right here, there is a drone, so you got to take that out. The other team can do it, you guys can do it. It's really cool, and you go from different sides. So we did launch on one side, or I should say spawn. We spawned on one side, then we ended up on the other. And it was actually really cool how you've got to communicate with your team, as I said, many times, especially when it's dark, and then there's even rain situations in some parts. So I definitely enjoyed this map the most, this jungle sort of map. So we went from like forest to quarry to jungle, and that's cool because there's different types and there's different shapes of maps. It's not just the maps that are different, they're very differently shaped. So you've got long maps, you've got wide maps, you've got really compressed maps, really big maps, and none of them are huge. I'd say medium size is probably the biggest map size that you will get. I'm not too sure exactly if that's official or anything like that, but from what I played, that's pretty much what we experienced. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this new game mode, Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP. I think it's something I'll definitely give a go with some friends that I can communicate with. As I stated, it's really tough when you can't communicate with your teammates because of language barriers. But I'm definitely going to give this a go. Let me know if you guys want to see some gameplay on this game. I'm definitely up for putting up more where we actually play and show highlights and things like that. So that'll be pretty fun. But anyway, that is the Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP game mode and gameplay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. However, now let's move on to the second part of the show, which is today's gaming news. And the first news report on today's show is about the Xbox One X, because it went on sale. You guys could pre-order it. However, the thing is, it's selling out incredibly quickly. It is huge. It is so popular right now. I've never seen anything like this. The Xbox One X is selling really, really fast. So fast that it's actually sold out on Amazon. So in the US, you cannot pre-order the Xbox One X on Amazon anymore. One of the big things that people are pointing to the success of it is that it's going for $499, which is really good for a system that's going to be playing games at 4K and hopefully 60 FPS compared to phones now that are going for $1,000 like the iPhone X. Yeah, you're getting the whole system, and you can even get it as a Blu-ray player, play 4K games on it. It's a pretty good deal for $499 compared to a phone for $1,000. So a lot of people are buying this. It is a good price point. I think they've perfected that sweet spot right there. Also, if you are looking to pre-order the Xbox One X and you found out that it is sold out, Microsoft are working on potentially providing even more units out there. There is no official word just yet. I will definitely update you guys if you are looking to buy one. However, you didn't get to buy one because it's sold out, which kind of sucks. But anyway, guys, that is it for that piece of gaming news. Now we move on to the next gaming news report on today's show. And it's also related to the Xbox One X because Doom has been added to the Xbox One X enhanced games list. You can see it here, and it was no big announcement or anything. Bethesda didn't just go out and go, hey, look, we've got Doom coming to the Xbox One X at 4K or anything like that. But the thing is, it's really strange because there's no word on if the game will be coming out on PS4 Pro with the 4K support. It's just that they've added it to the Xbox One X 4K Pro support, but no PS4 Pro support. So it's a really strange one right there. I'm definitely going to look into this. I'm going to see what I can find out more, but right now it's really strange. They kind of secretly just added it in there. Officially, like, it was there a couple of months ago, I believe, and then they took it away and now it's back, but they didn't announce it. And then now we don't even know about the PS4 Pro support, which is really strange because the PS4 Pro came out like a year ago almost. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'll definitely keep you guys up to date on that. But now let's move on to some Nintendo news because, well, the highest selling game for Nintendo right now is Mario plus Rabbids. To be specific, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is now the Nintendo Switch's best-selling non-Nintendo game. Now, this is according to physical sales tracked from North American and Australian numbers company NPD, as well as the UK company Chart Tracker. The interesting thing is this is actually a Ubisoft game. It's not a Nintendo game, like it's not a first party, it's a third party, even though Mario is in it. It's a Mario plus Rabbids game, so it's not a Nintendo first party game. This is actually some pretty big news, but it also shows again that the Nintendo's non-Nintendo highest selling Switch game is still kind of a Nintendo only game because it is Mario plus Rabbids. So it's kind of strange that it's not a Nintendo game, but it's the highest selling non-Nintendo game. It's kind of a mess, but it makes sense if you get it, you know? But yeah, hopefully we see more crossovers like this because it is pretty cool to see something like that happen. So really big news right there. But now let's move on to the final news report on today's show. And it's something that you may not know about because it snuck up on us really quickly. And it's that Tokyo Game Show is happening this weekend over in, well, Tokyo, Japan. I'm actually going to be in Japan. I leave in like 24 hours from now, but the thing is, I'm not there for the Tokyo Game Show. But something cool that has been sort of announced just before the show itself is a new game, and it looks awesome. It's called Left Alive. We've got new details revealed, and it's a Square Enix shooter. So Square Enix, you guys know, it's one of the biggest publishers out there. And this game basically is gonna be probably one of the biggest games to come out in 2018. It's a third-person survival action shooter. I don't know exactly what that means. I guess it's kind of like Metal Gear Solid because, well, the interesting thing is it's gonna be a mainly offline game. There could be online elements, and then on top of that, is that Metal Gear veteran Yoji Shinkawa is working on the project, and you can see his artwork right here. So this is what the game will like have as the artwork, I guess. It's coming 2018. It looks very Metal Gear-like. It is a Square Enix game, and it should hopefully be a good one. Hopefully we see more at the Tokyo Game Show this weekend, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. But it's gonna be really tough. I'll be traveling quite a bit over the next week. I'm gonna be in Tokyo, so yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys up to date. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's gaming news. Now, Gorilla Man, please hand me that question. Thanks, Gorilla Man. Okay, guys, the question is, what non-multiplayer game do you want to see get a PvP sort of game mode, and why? So get creative with the answers, put them down below in the comment section. But if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to smack the like button, because I'm Champ Chong Max, and Australian here on Schoolman's previous question.